Okay, so what you did, you did the preparation, you did both of the steps that we had just taught, but again, it's very subtle.
Okay.
So if I'm just walking straight forward into her, I have the energy of going straight forward into her, correct?
Yes.
Then you do a stutter step, yeah, right there?
Uh-huh.
Then you slightly prepare her, not just, okay, so whenever I do this, you've got to match how big my preparation is. If I do this, then you twist a lot. If I'm just doing this, then it's just barely a little thing, right? And I'm not sure which side, if you're going on this side of her or what, but see, I'm turning my sternum just a tiny bit in order to get that to happen.
Okay, I'm just trying to remember what I do, or what I have been doing, because I don't remember turning my sternum that much. I guess I do though,
Yeah,
huh?
you do, tiny bit.
Okay.
Tiny bit.
That's the answer then.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how it's, that means,
Yeah,
okay.
what'd you just say?
One of the biggest things she's going to have to work on is dancing on her own and not
Dancing
using
on her own, okay.
not using you so much.
Okay.
Or not over-exaggerating too much what she interprets from you. For example, if you're going to lead me, you're just going to lead me on, just point me that way and make me step that way, right? Now point me the other way. See that kind of thing? And a lot of times when you do it, you're pushing, right?
Yeah.
And then in order to get you to move, I have to push you to move. Because I start moving into you and a lot of times you're not moving.
Oh, so
Right.
I have to be the
You
mirror
have to-
image of him moving as he is moving,
Right.
not because he's moving.
Right. You have to be like he's dancing kind of like with a ghost. You want to be feathery and light and you want to be like his mirror kind of in a way. As opposed to being this big thing that he has to go there.
So it's more than just following.
Right.
That's what you're really saying.
It's interpreting.
Okay.
Right.
With equal energy and equal...
With equal.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's mirroring. And what his job is not to lead you. His job is to get correct body placement. And his job is to dance, and your job is to dance. It's not his job to dance you.
Boy, I'm glad you said that. I
that
never
make
really
sense?
thought about that before.
See what I mean? She does this. Oh. She just has that thing.
So I don't need to be
It's a
concerned
gift.
then about leading her so much.
No, you need to be concerned about where you are and what you're doing. And
Even if
in
somebody who
that,
doesn't know the dance.
yeah, because that's the only way you're going to get better.
Okay.
If he leads you wrong, then you're always going to be at a disadvantage because he's always going to be making up for your weaknesses.
And as long as I keep my through lines, Fred Flintstone, commit forward, commit back, commit side, equal distance.
Mirror.
Okay. Okay, you two lovebirds. Now what did we just learn here?
Okay, anytime that you're going to go on the right side or the left side of the girl, you have to be in a certain position. A lot of people try to make this position where we're parallel together, but that's not what we want to do. We always want to have our sternums fairly facing each other and we're kind of on our right side. If we're on this side, it'll be kind of the opposite. But one of the reasons that we prepare the step, if we want to continue going straight down the line of dance, actually it would be that way, but for now we're doing this. We turn the sternum first and that prepares us. So as you can see, we're kind of parallel in a diagonal position. Does that make sense? So now, being diagonal, now I can take her where we need to go. Now the other way to do that step, let's say that the line of dance is this way. Not for real, but you know what I'm saying. Because we're not oriented on the floor the correct way for that to be correct. But instead of trying to go straight past her, now I'm going to go in a diagonal this way. What the common mistake is for somebody to do this and turn like that so that their sternum is facing where they're going. Instead, you want to keep the sternum face towards your partner. And again, dance in that parallel diagonal movement. So it's the same thing that you're doing over here. So if I go that way, I'm keeping my sternum towards her and I'm doing the parallel diagonal movement. And it's exactly the same thing as the other step. Does that make sense? Did I explain it well?
Yeah, that's fine. Besides that, we got on tape.
Cool. You're just doing this with your feet right now, as opposed to actually going where I'm leading you.
Now, would you mind saying all that again?
Sure, sure. Okay, so because of your initial alignment, she's more kind of off to your right side a little bit. So if I were stepping straight into her, right now our feet fairly match up, right? See how my foot comes very close to hers there?
Mm-hmm.
If I do the stutter step, I can step off to her side just a little bit. And now we're on the same foot, marching around the room that way. Yeah?
Okay.
So if I wanted her to do a back ocho, I could continue walking forward as long as she's on my right side. Or I can do it while we're on the left side as well.
But what you did different was you started moving your sternum.
Right, I started moving my sternum in order to lead this.
Okay.
Now, if I want to go straight into her, and I want to keep her straight in front of me, I'm going to have to take those steps out to the side in a way because her feet are going to be in the way.
All right.
So I do my stutter step, and I want to take her to the side. See how I have to find this knee right here?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
And the way that you do that step is you can just step for it, or some people like to do this kind of thing and try to fancy it up if she's straight in front of you.
The men's part.
The men. But most of the time, I prefer just the step.
Okay. Now then, what were you saying about me hesitating my lead here like that?
Yeah, when you were getting ready to go, you would start like this, and then you would step, and then you would do this, and then step, as opposed to just going. And then the other thing, whenever I told you not to do that, then you started doing this and stepping. So you started putting your weight, and that's that. As opposed, you want to think of a string pulling you forward from here. So everything comes forward from right here.
Okay, got it.
And the only lean is from the ankles.
Yeah, the lean is
So
from
your
the
whole body
ankles.
is in one piece.
Anything else we need to put on here for Casey right now?
Casey is not taking big enough back steps a lot of times. A lot of times her back step will be this small, and they need to be a lot bigger.
Especially on the ochos? Or
Especially on the ochos, but in general, her back steps aren't big enough. So here's an ocho right there. See, now she's getting a bigger step. And she needs to stay down in her knees, right? And the other thing is she's leading herself a little bit, as opposed to letting me work with her. You know, I told her the sternum leads, the hands are there for support. Where the hands come in handy. Take this like that for me. Just like that. Where they come in handy is if I want her to turn and she doesn't feel like the floor is sticky, and I turn my sternum and I keep my arms level or connected to my sternum, she can use that. Like right now, she's pulling on my hands in order to help